This is Addison from CryptoBizMagazine. We're live in Las Vegas at Inside Bitcoins with Jacob Hansen, the co-founder of CrowdCurity. How are you doing today?
Very good, thank you.
Fantastic. We've already seen a huge change in crowdsourcing systems. How much more do you think will change in the future?
I think basically crowdsourcing will come to any industry and all over, basically because it's a way of decentralizing a workforce, and it basically works. It's a lot more effective and a lot more dynamic. So it's here to stay, and it will continue going forward.
So for people that are unfamiliar with the word crowdsourcing, give us a bit of a description.
So crowdsourcing basically means that you get a lot of people to do a single task. So for example, Wikipedia is a common crowdsourcing project. Then instead of having some, one or two experts writing an article around Obama, you get thousands of people to contribute to writing that article. And we're applying that concept as well to web security, that we get a lot of security researchers to find security issues in websites and not just have one single security consultant help you out.
You've looked deeply into the Bitcoin adoption around the world. What countries do you see having the largest adoption rates first?
Well, it's a difficult question because adoption can be measured in many ways. I luckily had the challenge to both live in Buenos Aires. I'm from Denmark originally, and now I'm building a business in the US. I've traveled a bit in Asia and Africa as well. So I think adoption having on different scales. I think in San Francisco, probably there's a large adoption, a lot of having in the startup ecosystem and kind of the whole 2.0 crypto thing. But if you think about the use cases around, using Bitcoin as a store of value and for money transfers, I think Argentina is a good example, where they basically use the Bitcoin to circumvent some of the monetary restrictions that are in the country. So adoption happens on different levels, on different scales, depending on what are the use cases specific in that country.
That makes sense. CrowdCurity has grown a very large client list. Do you find companies have started reaching out to you now?
So definitely, we get a lot of inbound interest from businesses, and it's just obvious because security is an issue within the Bitcoin space, and we basically just provide a solution which is easy to understand, it makes sense, and it's just a better way of doing web security these days instead of hiring one local security consultant. So people start to realize that and reach out to us, which we're of course very happy for.
That's exciting. Now you've got one other project called bitcoinfilm.org. Give us a little bit of an overview of that.
So bitcoinfilm.org is basically a project that started back in 2012. I was living in Buenos Aires and I was seeing how people were trading Bitcoins basically for dollars, and you have this high inflationary country and a lot of monetary restrictions. And a friend of mine was visiting me and said, "Hey, let's do a documentary around that." So we made a short doc around that, and later on we made another one. And recently we, for example, flew to Uganda to make a documentary around a guy living in Uganda is going to be receiving Bitcoin to support his education, basically, from his sister who lives here in the US. So overall, what we want to do with these documentaries, I should say it's all kind of short docs, so 5 to 8 minutes. Mm-hmm. But we want to show kind of use cases for normal people using Bitcoin and how it helps them in their daily life.
Some real world examples, yeah.
Real world examples, because it can be so difficult. What are all these private keys and all the security stuff? But the fact of the matter is that most people just need to understand how they can use it in their daily life and how it can help them. For example, transfer money out of the country, or save a lot of money on the fees, mm-hmm. or whatever. And
speed of transaction as well, yeah.
Exactly. These are the use cases that we just need to bring forward, and that's the idea behind Bitcoin Film.
So if somebody wants to get a hold of you and learn more about your crowdsourcing, or just get involved with the CrowdCurity, how would they do that?
They can tweet me at Jacob Hansen, or they can go send me an email at jacob@crowdcurity.com.
Fantastic. And the website, of course, is crowdcurity.com.
Exactly.
Jacob Hansen from CrowdCurity, thanks kindly for joining us today.
Thank you for making this interview happen.
Thank you. This is Addison from CryptoBizMagazine, live from Meckler Media's Inside Bitcoins conference in Las Vegas. Remember to subscribe to CryptoBiz Magazine at CryptoBizMag.com. Follow us on Twitter at CryptoBizMag. Thanks for joining us, and learn more at CryptoBizMagazine.com.